If you caught part 1, you'll remember we talked about the mysterious interstellar object called 3I Atlas. This thing is only the third confirmed object we've ever seen come from outside our solar system, and it's on a trajectory that will bring it frighteningly close to Earth on October 29, 2025. In part 1, we set the stage talking about Avi Loeb's shocking claim that there's a 40% chance it could be alien-made. Whistleblowers warning about a timeline of 2025 to 2027, and why governments may not be in control of disclosure at all. Now, in part 2, we're going deeper. We'll break down the new science, what's being said publicly, what could happen next, and what all of this means for humanity if it isn't just a rock. So let's dive in. Now, you might be watching other videos explaining this event, and they often throw around technical terms like you already know a bunch of astrophysics. But let's be honest, not everyone does. And I don't want anyone to feel alienated from the conversation. So here's how we do it on this channel. If a term comes up, like AU, perihelion, albedo, we break it down. No PhD required, no need to pause and Google in the middle of the video. And if there's anything I don't explain clearly enough, drop a comment, I'll get back to you. This channel is about being curious together, not gatekeeping knowledge. That's our promise, and that's how we'll approach every episode. And while we're here, if you appreciate breakdowns that actually make sense, instead of feeling like you've been dropped back into a classroom, hit that subscribe button. Every sub helps this channel grow, and it tells me that people want accessible, clear explanations about mysteries we all care about. So I want to thank you, everyone that's already subscribed. You're the reason that this community is growing stronger every week. And if you're new here, join us. You won't regret it. Okay, let's start with the latest updates on 3I Atlas. Avi Loeb and his team have noted something strange. The light it's giving off is brighter than expected. Normally, the brightness of an object like this would come from reflected sunlight bouncing off its surface. But in this case, the light seems stronger, possibly coming from the object itself. That's unusual. Now, why does that matter? Well, brightness tells scientists about the object's size, composition, and surface material. If 3I Atlas is reflecting too much light for its size, it could mean it has a shiny metallic surface, or even some kind of energy source. Remember Oumuamua back in 2017? It didn't act like a normal rock either. It accelerated slightly, as being pushed by something. Loeb suggested it might have been a light sail, a thin craft powered by starlight. Now here we are again, with another interstellar visitor that doesn't behave the way it should. Is that coincidence or a pattern? This is where things connect. Coulthart has said sources told him that in 2027, something will happen that changes everything we know about our place in the universe. Jeremy Corbell, who's been the go-between for military whistleblowers, says disclosure isn't coming one day, it's already happening in pieces. Every hearing, every leak, every drip of information is part of a slow rollout. And Dr. Steven Greer, he says disclosure is imminent, that governments can't keep the lid on forever, because the weight of evidence is breaking through. And so that whistleblowers like David Grusch testifying under oath that the US has retrieved non-human craft. And suddenly, the chatter from insiders, journalists, and scientists all overlap in the same timeline, 2025 to 2027. That overlap matters, because when multiple credible voices circle the same years, it usually means they're not guessing. They're hearing something. Alright, let's be real for a second. This is the part where things get juicy. We've got this object, 3i Atlas, racing towards us. Avi Loeb himself has said there's about a 40% chance it could be artificial. That's not some fringe voice. That's Harvard saying, hey, this thing might actually be alien tech. Let that sink in for a second. 40%. That's almost a coin toss. So what does that mean? Let's play this out. Let's imagine for a second that Loeb is right, and this thing isn't just space junk. What if it's designed? What if it's controlled? That would mean disclosure doesn't come from governments or whistleblowers, it comes from the sky itself. The whole world would be watching. Live streams, telescopes, TikToks blowing up. Some people panicking, others celebrating, governments scrambling to control the story. Do they try to say, we've known all along? Do they then try to spin it like it's dangerous or maybe even friendly? And here's the kicker. Coulthart says something big is coming in 2027. Steven Greer says disclosure is imminent. If this object shows any signs of intelligence, signals, movement, anything, disclosure may not wait for a press conference. It might force itself onto the world stage. Now, maybe it's natural. Just another interstellar traveler. But here's the twist. What if governments decide to use it? They could hype it up as a threat, push for new defense programs, or even revive wild theories like Project Bluebeam, where a staged alien event is used to unify people under one authority. It sounds crazy, right? But think about it. If the average person can't tell the difference between an icy rock and a spacecraft, all it takes is the right narrative, and suddenly the whole world is buying into a story they can't disprove. And then there's the spookiest scenario of all. Loeb floated the idea that when 3i Atlas swings behind the sun, out of our sight, that it could be the moment it slows down, changes direction, and heads straight for us. Imagine that. One day, it's gone. Telescopes lose track. Then weeks later, boom, it's back. Only this time, it's closer. Headed towards Earth. That's what I call the holy shit moment. And if that happens, game over. The question won't be if aliens exist, but what do they want? Are they preparing us? Or are they stalling, hoping 3i Atlas slips by quietly without incident? So let's add this up. Avi Loeb gives it a 40% chance of being alien tech. Coulthart says something big is coming in 2027. Steven Greer insists disclosure is imminent. That's not random. That's a countdown. Whether 3i Atlas is just a rock or the first true alien artifact, the window between 2025 and 2027 is shaping up to be the most important years in human history. The only question is, are we ready to face the answer? So here's where we leave it for now. In just a matter of weeks, 3i Atlas makes its closest approach. This object doesn't care about political timeframes or secret programs. It's on its way. And if it turns out to be more than just a rock, disclosure won't be about governments deciding when they're ready. It'll be about reality forcing its way into the light. In part 1, we asked, is 3i Atlas the sign we've been waiting for? In part 2, I think we've shown why the next few months could change everything we thought we knew. So stay curious, stay engaged, and keep your eyes on the skies, because the countdown has already begun. If you've got theories, drop them in the comments. Do you think 3i Atlas is just a rock? Or is this the moment humanity faces contact? The poll will be open when the episode airs. Make sure you have your say. Don't miss it. I'm Mike, and this is Existence Unknown, and we'll see you next time. Until then, stay curious and share what you know with those willing to listen. Bye for now.